And we're back. Thank you for paying attention to our advertisers. In class 1 and 2, we did some of these problems. This is class 3. We're going to do more of these problems. Tomorrow, you're going to have to know how to do these problems. Tomorrow, you get an assignment over these types of problems. So, if you don't know how to do them, when you leave my room, your best bet is to watch some of these videos from today, from yesterday, from last year. We'll do some of this stuff on tutoring as well today. This is part of what we're going to do on tutoring today. So please follow along, pay attention, learn, so that when you get assigned tomorrow, there's not, all right, I need you to do these 10 problems. Then there's not 5,000 hands that shoot up that say, this makes no sense. That makes me insane. Because also, when the people that say this makes no sense, they don't have notes out that we took yesterday, or they didn't take the notes yesterday, or they wrote the notes in invisible ink and they forgot to bring their invisible ink reader. Whatever the case, please pay attention, write things down. I would like you to be able to know how to do this so that we can move on to multiplying and dividing in fractions.
Lollygag.
Lollygag the ball out of the outfield. Lollygag the ball into the infield. You know what that makes you?
A lollygagger?
A lollygagger. You've seen that movie?
No.
Oh, that's from a movie. A League of Their Own.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so the first thing, we're going to have to do the following things in order to subtract these two fractions. We're going to have to find the least common denominator. Troy, you with me?
Yes, sir.
We're going to have to change these fractions so they are equivalent using that least common denominator. Then we're going to have to find the greatest common factor to see if we can simplify the difference of these two fractions. So those are our 3 steps we have to do. Uno, dos, tres. That means 1, 2, 3 for my friends who don't count in Spanish. Porque yo puedo hablar español. Solamente un poquito. Pero si yo necesito hablar con su madre y dice que su hijo es mal, yo puedo. All right, so we have a volunteer to do this. Let's see, Maddie. What are my denominators for this problem?
9 and 6.
9 and 6. I need to find the least common denominator, or the least common multiple for 9 and 6.
Which one are you?
What do you think it would be, Maddie? 18. So we have 9, 18, 6, 12, 18. Boom! Shakalaka, it's 18. So step 1. Yes. Step 1 is we need to have our least common denominator. Brooks, you writing this down so tomorrow you don't look at me with confused eyes when I say we need to do this? Or are you going to write it down when you get home? I'll remind your mom. Say, Brooks wants to watch all 3 of these videos so he knows how to do this today. I'll say, dear Brooks' mom. All right, so we have our common denominator of 18. So we've done step 1, found our common denominator of 18. Step 2 is I need to find a fraction that is equivalent to 4/9 that has a denominator of 18, which Maddie means I need to multiply by a fraction that equals 1 As long as the numerator and denominator are the same, Maddie, that fraction will equal 1. So what am I going to multiply by? I just have to look. 9 times what gives me 18? 2. So I'm going to multiply this by 2 over 2. Once I know 2 parts of it, or 1 part of the second fraction, makes it real easy to figure out what I need to multiply by. Just figure out what you have to multiply in that part. Some of you are making those dots very, very pretty. That's good. That'll help you. Okay, so what's my numerator here, Maddie? 4 times 2 is? 8. So I have 8/18. Now I need to multiply. This one isn't over 18, so I need to find an equivalent fraction so that it is over 18. What would I multiply by, Maddie? 3 over 3. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. So my numerator here is what, Maddie? 3, because 1 times 3 is 3. So we're saying 1/6 and 3/18 have the exact same value. They are equivalent. 4/9 and 8/18 are equivalent. The exact same value. Now this is where some mess up. I've done research online like we did. What about eggs? I've done some research online, and if you don't pay attention to what your sign is, you might get the sign wrong and add instead of subtract. But it is a subtraction problem. So Maddie, what is 8/18? Subtract 3/18.
Subtract?
Yeah.
Oh, 5/18?
5/18. With me so far, Brooks?
No,
No, where'd you lose me?
like right after the 3/18.
Oh, you're minusing?
Okay, it's a subtraction problem. The denominators stay the same when you're adding or subtracting fractions. So I just subtract the numerator. 8 minus 3 is 5. Okay? Now, I need to see whether or not I can simplify this fraction. So that's where my greatest common factor comes in. I take my numerator of my answer, the denominator of my answer, and I list all the factors of each. So Maddie, what are my factors of 5?
5 times 1.
Good. 5 times 1.
Yes.
Anything else? Is that number prime or composite?
Nice.
Prime. Awesome. My factors of 18, Maddie.
9 times 2.
Good. 9 times 2.
18 times 1.
18 times 1.
3 times 5.
3 times 6. So Maddie, tell me what they have in common.
1.
1. Anything else? You sure? Yeah, you're right. There's nothing else in common. So my greatest common factor is 1. If my greatest common factor is 1, that fraction cannot be simplified. Cannot be simplified. See, I know you're writing the notes on your desk, but probably before you come in tomorrow, those notes will be gone. So I'm thinking they're not going to be handy for you at a later time. I'm just really saying. We have 1/2 plus 4/9. 1/2 plus 4/9. 1/2 plus 4/9. Let's see, I have called Truett. Kate, I have not called Matthew. I have not called Cadence. Mia has helped me. Chase Hope has not. So, you've helped me, Rainey.
Chase, oh, it's in the
You've helped me. You're trying to be tricky.
I didn't help.
All right, Matthew. What is the first thing I need to do? Good. I need to find the least common denominator, or the least common multiple of the denominators. What are my denominators, Matthew?
9 and 2.
Good. 9 and 2. And luckily, your ugly teacher allows you to use a multiplication chart. So that would be real easy, just to go down the row for 9, the row for 2, find out what they have in common. The first number they have in common is what, Matthew?
18.
18. So if I went to 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, I went 9, 8. Oh, look! 18 is my common denominator. So step 1 was to find my common denominator. Matthew, step 2.
You, however much times you did the denominator, you have to do the numerator.
Good. Whatever I need to multiply by my denominator here to get to 18, I need to do the same to my numerator. So Matthew, what am I multiplying by 2 to get to 18?
9.
So then I have to multiply them both by 9. And 1 times 9 is? 9. Thank you, Matthews. And what did I have to multiply by 9 to get 18? 2. So my numerator is 8. Addition or subtraction problem?
No, addition.
Addition. 9 eighteenths plus 8 eighteenths is 17 eighteenths. I'll also tell you, if the numerator and denominator are 1 apart, then you can't simplify it. The greatest common factor would be 1. I'm just saying. You're going to be doing this tomorrow. So please, for the love of Pete, make sure you know how. It would make me happier if when you came in tomorrow and you were told to do these 10 problems, if I didn't see everybody go, "What? Fractions? When did we start doing fractions? That's crazy! We haven't been doing fractions! All of a sudden, you throw fractions at us? We've never even seen a fraction before!" This doesn't make any sense. So, if you need to watch the videos again so you can write down some notes on something other than your desk so that you have it to look at tomorrow, because your desk isn't going to fit in your locker to bring tomorrow, so that you have all this work, please rewatch and do so. Boom. Shakalaka. Peace out. Love ya. God bless. Do something kind.